Hey guys, welcome back. So in this week's video, I'm going to kind of give you a 101 on making prog house, rises, wobs, kind of sound design, all of the stuff which really brings a track together. This was inspired by one of the entries from my remix competition, so if you haven't seen those videos, I suggest you check them out. They're really awesome. And DJ Teller suggested how he makes his kind of wobs and translated that over to wavetable and then did a load of other bits with it as well. So hopefully this was useful for you making your prog house track. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So I've kind of broken this into 4 sections which you can mess with to get your own unique sounding wobs and builds and so forth. The filter envelope, modulation, wavetable and effects. Let's set up a little patch and then move on to the first of these, the filter envelope, the driving force of the wobbly sound. Let's set oscillator 1 to a square wave at -24 dB. Then enable the sub 2 octaves down with some tone. Let's set the filter slope to 24 and set the frequency to around 100 Hz. Set the drive to 4 and don't forget to increase the resonance. This is important to our sound as the sweeping resonant peak gives the sound its distinct character. Now back to the filter envelope. Let's click on envelope 2 and set the attack to 500 with the decay slightly less and the sustain all the way down. Now in the matrix, let's apply 25% of this to the frequency position. If we want a longer build, we can just increase the attack and decay. Let's say to 2 seconds. We'll need to extend our MIDI note too. Nice. Next we could look at some additional modulation. Let's create a random LFO wave and set it to the frequency position as well. Just a little bit should do. And what about if we add it to the wavetable position? Now we don't just have to use the same wave. Let's switch to a formant wavetable for example. Now we've got something completely different to our first patch. Now let's add some effects. Let's go back to our first patch and add a chorus, then the saturated preset, hot tubes, and an echo. On the echo, I've disabled the filter, brought the feedback up to 60%, the reverb down to 25% and set it to ping pong. Now for the dry wet, down to 30%, with the stereo up to 200. Here's a couple more examples of what you can do. For this one, I've added a shaper to modulate the rate of the LFO, which is modulating the filter frequency. As we get close to the end of the sound, the rate increases. This one, I've selected the noise unison and set a random LFO wave to help modulate the frequency. Here I've done the same, but I've switched up the wavetable and sent 100% of LFO2 to it. I've also increased the rate of the LFO2 to 1/16. So there you go, 4 steps to create your own unique wobs and sound design for prog house tracks. Hopefully they were useful for you and you can take some of those tips away to maybe different elements as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sweeping wobbly sound. As I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel out and I'll catch you guys in the next one.